Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Tower of Doom, week 15, day 6. And I think we're finally done with Tower of Doom now. We kind of messed around with it, messed with the other team, and obviously we are way past where we need to for all rewards. However, one interesting thing that happened today is, of course, they've still been running some of the old event troops during some of the weekends. And now is no different. So this might look somewhat familiar to some of you, though it also might not if you don't already have a copy of it. But this was the 4-year anniversary pet for Gems of War. Also, someone else brought to my attention. It is also the Smash Bros. Ultimate anniversary today. So 2 anniversaries. No, actually, Gems of War thing was like 2 weeks ago. However, this was last year's pet, which a lot of people probably don't have if you started within the last year, or, you know, prior to the last year. If you started like last December or even more recent than that, last year's December, so or this year's December. But yeah, definitely make sure to go and get that. We'll go do it right now since it's already on our little notification thingy. Might as well before we forget. Yeah, we'll run standard key team against it and go get this pet. Obviously, we already have it, but more copies of it's always good in case we want to go and get some upgrade on it. Also, this is from the Blackhawk Kingdom, and I just realized on the previous stream, there's actually only one Blackhawk pet that is not a event exclusive, like these old event exclusive things. There's like 5 or 6 pets for the kingdom. Yeah, all of them except one are specifically hidden behind like some kind of old event, with this one being one of them, of course. Oh, excuse me. Okay. But anyways, hello, Bill. You changed your icon to a literal Bill. Hello, Lucian. Hello. Wait, why did you change it again? Why did it look vertical earlier and now it looks horizontal? Well, I guess you fixed the orientation of the thing. That's funny. It was like vertical before. Oh no, the vertical one almost looks better, to be honest. Like it makes it stand out a bit more, though it's harder to read. It's much harder to read, but it's short enough that it's not really that hard to read. Hello, T3. Hello, Mobarashi. Hello, Mats. Welcome, welcome. I'll go throw a key down. Get our destroy in there. And he should be dead off a key. If it'll let me cast. Always annoying that you can't cast on the enemy turn. We want to kill him now. They're probably not going to be fixing that lag thing for a while either. I mentioned it several times, but it has to do something with how they have the game coded that actually prevents them from easily fixing the lag that occurs whenever a troop is in the cast menu thing. Like whenever it lags like this right now. Them fixing that is actually something they can't do that easily. Hopefully they'll still get around to it eventually, but as it currently stands, it could be a while before they ever bother fixing that. Egg Thief or Leprechaun, which is better? Normally Leprechaun. The main thing that Egg Thief gets used in is gold compositions. Anything that's going to be specifically using a gold gain. In any other circumstance, you would end up using Leprechaun. But almost every single instance, Leprechaun is better. But this is one of the few teams where Egg Thief is actually better. Which is why we use Egg Thief. Also, we will be hunting for that Nysha. We've been hunting, and hunting, and hunting, and hunting. And then it thinks we're done hunting, but then we're still hunting. It'll come out eventually. We got an insane amount of Anus earlier today, though. We got like 9 Anus this morning. We got enough to basically go all the way from metal to metal, nearly. So it was anywhere from 7, 8, or 9 is how many we ended up getting. Because we saw 3 badges occur. So, you know, some amount within 7 to 9 ended up occurring. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I'll make sure to get over to all of them. Otherwise, good majority of the stream will be take this pet, give out codes soonish, and then farm like crazy for that Nysha, and hopefully finally get that Nysha. Because, gosh, it is hiding well. I should have kept track of what day we actually last got the Nysha. Because I'm pretty sure we're on a 4 or 5 day dry streak now of no Nysha. Longest we ever went was 10 days. Hello, Gamora! Welcome. You've been grinding since my previous stream. That is some dedication. Nice. Let's see. And you got golf on TV for the next 5 hours. Nice. Looks like you're in for a long grind. That is quite a long grind for sure. It's like a day-long grind right there. I ended up watching the Clash Royale tournament with some of that time, and then I took a nap. I would never get competitive with that game, though. I'm just playing it casually at the moment. I'll take that. Grab either destroy. And then gold into key to key. And he's hopefully dead. Hello, wow, welcome. Okay, let's go get this pet. Hello, Zeddicus, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Can we get a sky green? The answer is no. That was the green that was already visible. Need the sky green for extra turn. That's not gonna matter. Let's grab this, get our loop going. Well, not really a loop, but get our mana accumulation going. Oh, don't hit hero. Oh gosh. That's not too big a deal because most of our damage is based on gold. However, out of everything on our team, that is the second most important thing to have its magic. I mean, the most important thing. The second most important would be Egg Thief. Actually, never mind. Egg Thief is the most important to have its magic. Because it does no gem spawn, whereas that still does damage. It just does slightly less damage. Because all of our gold boost ratio damage still applies while using the key. However, Egg Thief does, I believe, 1 destroy when she has no magic. Quite literally only 1 gem. Hello, Cookie! Hello, Mehmet. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we still don't have the Nysha, for anyone wondering. Well, we just kind of started recently, so obviously we wouldn't. But, you'll know it. The title will let it be known very well that we have the Nysha. Oh, good. We got 2 copies of it. Unfortunately, that's 1 copy short of how many we need. Should we buy it? No, that'd be a waste. If we're buying it, we're buying all the way to the end, which costs like 2,000 gems. Pets are so overly expensive to get to max with gems. Not sure what they were thinking. Oh, yeah, that's the redeem code for soon. I ended up claiming it before the stream ended up starting. So while we're doing daily things, I should probably go clear out all of them before I forget. Then we'll probably hand out the code, and then we'll go and get on the grind. The grind of all grinds. Trying to get the final Nysha grind. Feels like it's taking even longer than normal, which, for 1, it is. But for 2, it's the last one, so I'm, like, constantly looking at us and how far we've been going with it. And the lack of progress by not getting lucky enough to get it. How would you rank the new Mythic? Probably top 10. And after next Guild War, I might say top 5. But it's probably top 10 in the game. And how well it does in Guild Wars will determine its actual ranking beyond that. And it's really good to pick up at any point within the game. Later in the game, you would mostly pick it up as a ridiculously good blue, yellow, and purple option for Guild Wars. Whereas at any other point in the game, you would end up picking it up because it can run blue, yellow, and purple Guild Wars and blue, yellow, and purple Tower of Doom. And a lot of this stuff is synergized with our low rarity troops that everyone has. Not everything, because you sometimes need imps like winter imps, which are slightly hard to get, but still relatively easy. But a lot of the components that you need to build most of the teams are available to most people. And I guess the Doom weapons might be a little bit harder for some people. However, most people have at least one of the 3 main colors. And even if they don't, one of them's bound to rotate in Soulforge eventually. I believe 2 weeks from now we get the green one. However, of course, you'd mostly want to get the blue, yellow, purple one. Plus, some teams that can be built around purple actually can use the normal weapons and not the Doom weapons, like we were doing with Creeping Death earlier. It's one of the reasons why I showed it for the video, is to have a nice range of different versions of the team. That one, of course, we ran assuming no good troops at all, and it was still able to be built. I might even place this thing above Infernus, unless you're a super early game. If you're above level 1000, I might actually even rank this above Infernus, depending on how it goes. The actual ranking I would determine probably a little bit more so after Guild Wars. You can't really rank it currently, because we know in theory it should absolutely decimate Guild Wars, but we've never actually seen what it can score properly when it does do Guild Wars. But after Guild Wars in a week and a half from now, we'll be able to kind of determine how good that troop is. Because that's the actual purpose of that troop, is Guild Wars. Like, we can use it for other things if we want, but its true purpose is Guild Wars. I'll throw that down again. Grab the brown. Oh no, Rowan's in first slot. Oh no, we're actually going to lose this battle. What even is happening? Well, that's lucky. Wow, that skull spam just carried. There we go. But yeah, normally you don't use that team against that, but it worked. Kind of. I guess that works. Not exactly the way I wanted to do that, but same end goal, I guess. Well, we got 45 on this hero class. We are still so far away from getting this thing to viableness. What is the second best poison option behind Uriali? Web Spinner. Or Dragon Soul. Either or. I mean, sorry, not Dragon Soul. Web Spinner or Shadow Dragon are the two replacements that you could do for it. Make sure they're in front of your Leprechaun, though. Normally put Leprechaun all the way in last, but you should put it in third. Or you should put the Leprechaun in last and put the... Or sorry, Leprechaun's normally in third. But you want to put whatever troop you're mana generating with third. Or that's doing the poison, I mean. So you put the Leprechaun all the way in fourth. And then you put the thing that's going to poison in third. And then Scorpius in second. And your Mountain Crusher in first. Hello, Strawn! Welcome! You wonder if you still top most PvPs played? You'll probably still have pretty high, I would assume. Some people are pretty active. Like, the average for PvP is way more active than it used to be. However, the top people in PvP are less active than the top people used to be. Like, DHJL, for any of you that remember him from, gosh, ages upon ages upon ages upon ages ago, he used to be the most active PvP person about a few years back, like for the first, I believe, 2 years of the game or so. I believe he was the first person that reached, oh, what level range was it? 1,000, I think? Or was that Sammy? Sammy might have been 1,000. It was 100. I know he was the first to reach something. He was also the first to ever reach 1 billion gold, which was a pretty nice achievement as well, since he did so much PvP at the time. Actually, I believe he's one of the only few people, period, that ever bothered reaching 1 billion gold. Because normally people donate to the guild prior to that point. But, yeah, he was one of the biggest PvP people. That and Sammy. I know Strawny was decently active too. But as I mentioned earlier, the average person in the game is grinding more. However, the highest people are grinding less for PvP. Not much less, but less in the past. I believe this is mostly because they might be discouraged slightly by bots. Or never mind, as I say that, the top 3 are actually pretty high right now. Particularly the 135,000. But, like the middle high area is actually a little bit lower. But, still. But the bottom area is definitely way higher than it normally is. Normally, like, in the past, it would get to 26,000 by the end of Sunday. It is almost over 26,000 right now, and we still have a whole nother day left. So I guess it's almost still at that range. It's probably going to reach 27,000, it looks like. But it keeps, the bottom area keeps creeping up ever so slightly over time. Yeah, hopefully there's not too many bots around these days. I'm pretty sure people at the top of the leaderboard can actually say how bad of a condition that's currently in. But, because I don't bother with PvP leaderboards, rather pointless in the current state of the game. It's mostly just done for fun. especially now that you can get PvP gold at quicker locations like Explore. But anyways, let me go hand out a code. Let's see. I just have 2,000 wins per week. That is a pretty hefty amount, that's for sure. But here you guys go. There's the redeem code. We still have those things. Use them on gemswar.com for the game code section. Invite code is found if your settings menu, whatever your game says there. Redeem code's right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters. And give the same reward as always, this mail that we had here. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And it only works on PC mobile version. Enjoy, everyone. But yeah, now there's Explore. And they have been considering adding trophies to Explore. Oh, this is not the team I want. Fail. Let me go change to the actual team I want. But yeah, these days, a lot of people tend to do Explore now for their gold, because PvP isn't really needed in that regard anymore. And that's mostly because Explore can easily reach around 350,000 per hour gold. It can reach around 300,000 to 400,000 right now, which is pretty much the highest it's ever been in the history of the game, except for when you used to be able to go and use that weird 4 times multiplier, back when you could steal all people's gold. Because when you could do that, I believe you could gain, oh gosh, it was a really broken amount of gold. I think it was almost 30,000 for a battle or something, if you could get those really lucky battles with enough gold on someone, and then just multiply it with your difficulty bonus. But as far as currently, that's still pretty hefty compared to what's been available for the last few years. Turn around? Why should I turn around? There's nothing behind me. Oh, do grab here. Hello, Derry. Welcome. Grab our other mountain. Get our explosion that we need. And then we Scorpius kill it. Oh, turn around is in the battle. Okay, I see. I completely read that wrong because it was given during the battle. Actually, the stream looks like it has a bit of a delay today. Let's see. Is it actually live right now? Right there. Yeah, it looks like about a 15-second delay. The connection this morning was really bad for some reason. I'm not sure why. It was definitely service provider problem though. I know that for sure. Okay, I'll run a mountain. If it'll let me. Yeah, no problem for the code, everyone. And if anyone has any questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. Otherwise, our eyes on the Nysha. Must get Nysha token. It's the last one we need. Until we need 1 billion more. It's the last one we need until we have the full global bonus. Actually, we were just checking it earlier. We need 291 total medals of Nysha to guarantee max everything that's mythic. That's not even counting if we want to use them for some legends. But at minimum, we need 291 Nyshas, and that increases by 6 every mythic that gets added to the game. And that increases even more if you want to go use them for mythics. I mean, for legends. To speed up the powering up of legends. Which I'm probably not going to use them for at all, ever. The reason I do it for all the other tokens is because there's nothing above any of the other tokens. But for Nysha, I mean, there is something above all the other tokens. But for Nysha, there's nothing above it. So we should always spend them specifically on the mythics themselves. But yeah, we need 288 to max everything. 291 if you count the 3 global bonuses that you would also need. And that increases by 6 per mythic. So us getting 3 is about 1% of the total amount of Nyshas we technically need. So we're almost 1% there! Well, Explorer is definitely in the best game mode now. If you were to take the overall value of every game mode and just compare everything, Explorer is by far the best value that you can get for your time. At least in the current state of the game. Because you can still get quick gnomes. It's the only place you get tokens. And you end up getting trait stones, increased rarity of trait stone rate, and you end up getting one of the highest, if not the highest gold rate currently in the game. I think some people still say they can get higher for PvP, though my tested gold rates for PvP is lower than what you can get for Explore. So I'm either just not doing the strategy right or something, but I do find that Explore gives better gold rate than PvP in the current state of the game. It also has a way higher consistency. Doesn't have perfect consistency, but way, way higher than PvP does. You just finish all the quest lines and class quests, nice. On the gold grind now in PvP, still the best way. For early game, yes. For earlier on in the game, PvP is still your best method. Also, one other benefit that PvP has, which is relevant in early and mid game, however extremely irrelevant for the point in the game where I am in, is PvP is the most viable location to farm ingots. So if you're still looking to go and upgrade weapons, PvP is a really good location for that. Arena is too, but PvP is probably slightly better. And that one's kind of a toss-up on which one of those two might be better, but it's still a really viable way to do so while gold farming. And that's one of the things that made PvP pretty viable around that time. But now that they added metals exclusively to just Explore, that ended up increasing the viability of Explore by a lot. And the fact that they also increased the gold rate while also simultaneously doing so, which also helped a lot. But yeah, the token update's probably my favorite update all year. And once again, thematically, like the rest of this year, I wasn't even around when the update happened, which was a fail. Although that time I wasn't in Chicago. I was doing something else. It's more like a staycation. I had a friend come over from out of country. Instead of having to rent a hotel, he just ended up staying with us. These would have been way cheaper that way. So that reminds me, I still need to go and get situated whatever my holiday plans are going to be. They're still not set in stone yet. I mean, they need to be because they're right around the corner. Christmas is in, like, what, 3 weeks from now? Actually, not even. It's less than 3 weeks from now. But I generally don't go anywhere for Christmas. It's the New Year's I actually go away for. But the biggest issue is always weather. Because I almost intend on doing like a double thing. Where I kind of go from like one place and then go to another for the holidays. But my biggest concern with that is weather. Because both those two locations in question are both snow prone. So the chance of getting snow during December is obviously extremely increased. Yes, a vacation is much better when room and board is free. I never go on vacation. I don't know. Am I weird? I never go on vacation unless room and board is free. And I do the same thing for others. I have not gone on a vacation on my own money where board and where room and board wasn't free. Because I always do it with friends. Or specifically 2 friends' locations. And just vacation there. Let's see. We'll take that. Grab the other thing. Did I read the long text with turnarounds? I don't know. What did you end up just mentioning with it? There's a funny guy that was on Germany Super Talent today who turned around to the song Turnaround. He was... on the end, The Italian and Spanish talent show. Or talent 2. Interesting. I have no clue what that song is, though. Oh, unless it's the one that I think it is. Oh, okay, never mind. I know what song you're referring to now. I forgot for a second. Now I remember. Wow's comment made me remember what song that was. You were listening to Legal Eagle earlier and thought of us all? I'll need to go check that video later. Let's see, open a new tab. I still have no clue what's going on with Copa. I haven't been worrying about it personally. We'll go throw that down. Get our mountain going. And I have no clue what I want here. I'll stick a blue for now, I guess. So that reminds me, all the stuff from Amazon should be coming soon. I believe it's supposed to come on this Wednesday. What day is that? This Wednesday is the... Let's see, today's the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th? 11th. I believe it's coming in on the 11th. Assuming it comes in on time. Yeah, some of that I'll be able to use for the stream. It probably won't be set up for the stream properly until, like, another whole week after. But there is something interesting that I want to go use for it. I'll probably take a bit of a learning curve. Plus, I need to actually commission some other stuff for it. For some things I might want to do with it. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out. Also, I'm getting a drawing tablet. So I might try drawing some of my own assets soon. Though, about that. I can't draw. But, there's some things I can do graphic design-wise that would be a little bit better with a tablet. So at least that, if nothing else, since we're going to probably be making most of our own assets. At least anything way beyond my capability. Or anything that isn't beyond my capability, I should say. But it's a lot of things that is beyond that point. Also, I was joking earlier that we should go do a drawing stream. That would probably be a very, very bad stream until I get better at it. I am horrifically bad at drawing. And he's dead. Still no Nysha. Also, I will give out an extra code if we ever find this Nysha. Actually, how about this? I'll give out a super shiny code when we finally find this Nysha. Don't get your hopes up because it could literally be another week if we keep getting this unlucky. But it could also be any chest we open. Yeah, we'll give out a super shiny secret code on when we find Nysha. So about the new troop, ran her with Humility and Doom. Gotta say, it was pretty... Oh yeah, it's insane what you can do with it. Yeah, I would advise using the Humility method. Humility works out great with it. Especially since you could feed it stats, and whenever it gets hit on HP, you even gain a benefit too. Seriously, what's with this SSL connection thing? There we go. You can draw a mean stick figure. I know. Or maybe we'll need to go increase our stick figure drawing capabilities. That's about as close to a person that we're going to be drawing. I had an extra turn there that I didn't take. Luckily, we still cascaded it. Okay, please end all the extra turns. There we go. Oh, come on. There's still one. Not that big a deal. Should just let the AI take it, but oh well. Hey, you think you devs put your kingdoms in Nysha free zones? Well, we're about at 5 days without a Nysha or so. 4 or 5 days. I forget. I think it was last Tuesday was our last Nysha. So it's like 4.5 days then. You're one-shotting full screens with Taloka and high-level Doom after cycling. Yeah, I guess Taloka could work. Taloka does do 10 damage per extra turn. So it does stack to be a lot of damage over time. Only problem is he does split damage and not full AoE. So the magic he does gain doesn't get as much of a benefit. And his physical damage compared to Winter Imp's true damage. Though it does allow you to use it with yellow if nothing else. Also, whenever you get a yellow-blue spawn, the other yellows won't be blocking it as much since you'll be spawning blue. Ugh. Not sure why I'm still so tired. I even took a nap to like try to catch up. Like I went to bed early last night to catch up on sleep, and then I even took a nap after a little bit between the two streams after I finished watching the live stream thing. And or watching the other stream, the Clash Royale tournament thing, the esports thing. But what was I just making a point of? How did I like tangented for a second and I was like, wait, what? But yeah, I'm still tired even after that nap. I remember now. So tired can't even remember train of thought. Though I don't need to be tired for that to happen. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome. I better not start doing this almost after every battle. That's a long loading screen. You've been feeling bad this past day. If you want to know why, I will tell you the story. If the stream gets 10 likes, sure. I want to know why. Let's go click that like button so we can go hear Lucian's story. Go, everyone. Actually, let me go hit my own like button. I don't even think I hit my own. Because if I even bother hitting it, I don't do it until after the stream more often than not. But sure, let me go hit my own like button. Let's see, where is my like button? Where's the stream? There it is. Let me mute it. No, stop playing an ad. I need those ads for money. We're at 13 likes. You might want to click refresh. Because we're at 13 likes right now. So tell us your story. Let's see, we'll grab that. Get our mountain. Throw a Scorpius down. Like, the likes just spiked upwards. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, Lucian, tell us your story. You are now obligated. Now we need 15% more story, since we hit 15. I mean 50%, I mean. We'll go grab that. So you know how school has dances? Yes. I never went to any of mine. Though there was one thing in middle school that I did end up going to with some friends. I didn't go with any one specific person, though. Actually, I did go with a dance with one friend that I had from my class back in elementary school. I think it was 5th or 6th grade. But yeah, what about them? We just doubled the likes. Nice. Actually, I do have a funny story about that. So I ended up going with one of my friends from elementary school. She was a really, really good friend of mine from 2nd to 6th grade, and I saw her some after the fact. I'm not sure if she's still going to the same house. If she is, I should go stop by her place sometime, because I don't have her number. But if she's still living there, I should go double check next time I'm in New Jersey. Because I haven't chatted with her for years. But we were really good friends then, and there was like this thing of Twister that they had in one of the other back rooms, because it was kind of like a whole little thing, not just like there was one main dance area, but then there was also like these side rooms, and they had like this Dance Dance Revolution thing or something similar to that, and I was so horrifically bad at it. Like laughably bad. The girl that you like went to the dance, so you decided to try to impress her. Oh no, that's already a bad sign. Oh, to grab there. We'll take that. Take our other thing over. Splody, splody. And then we just mountain into hopefully win. And then hopefully Nysha. Also, we're only 2 little things short. What's even more annoying is when you're only 1 short. Like, you thought you were going to get it, and then the random number of shards that you get makes it so you're short. That pretty much just happened to us now. Because if we would have gotten a slightly higher amount of shards, we would have been able to get it. Because the range of shards that you get for them, even if you're running on 20% extra, does run from a certain range. I believe tier 12 is 71 to 75. So your score can range from 4 different numbers. Or, you know, a spread of 4 numbers. Let's just say it didn't go well, and you found out she had a boyfriend. Ouch. That hasn't ever happened to me, I don't think. Like trying to date someone or trying to do something like that, but finding out that they already had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I do have one friend that has a boyfriend that we've like done some light stuff, but it's I already like knew ahead of time, and it didn't like really interfere with anything. And of course he knew, the other person, obviously. But other than that, I don't think that's ever actually happened to me. And the one time that it kind of happened, the person was chill with it, like both of them, so it wasn't really an issue. What do we even grab here? Take a yellow. Oh, should have grabbed the other thing. And then we Scorpius him down. But I've only really like actually dated 2 people. One person from middle school, a girl that I had a crush on. I felt like I was almost a bit stalkerish with her, to be honest. I wasn't like stalking her, but like I don't know. The one moment that always kind of gets me, like you know how you kind of have like things at school where like I'm not sure if any of your guys' schools would have had something like this. Though I have had this in 2 different states, so I assume it's a thing across the United States and possibly other schools too. But where you kind of have almost like a field day kind of thing where you go around the school, you have a bunch of activities that you can do for, I don't know, you know, just like a bunch of fun things that you can do around. And I don't know, it was kind of like, we were like barely even friends at the time, and I was kind of like almost stalking her around the entire time. Not like stalking, but you know, we were chatting and stuff, sitting together, but other times I was kind of just like following her a bit. It was kind of creepy, to be honest, but we were kind of together for a short duration of time. It ended up eventually ending because I ended up having to move away for college. So at that point, a little bit after that, it kind of naturally ended up ending. But also because she was asexual, which I ended up learning a lot from that too. It's quite an interesting experience. I feel like to some degree I am too. Or at least demisexual, or something along that spectrum of asexuality. Like, I'm definitely not fully asexual, I can say that much. But it does appear like I am slightly. Yeah, she was really cool. I believe she still is in this area, too. I haven't really been chatting with her much lately, though. I feel like I've cut contacts with a lot of people that I used to know from school. Like, I can't think of a single person that I still keep in contact with from school. I might have for, like, some amount of time after high school. But literally none of them. And also, I made no friends in college, so I don't obviously keep in contact with any of those. You hate when people cheat? It's mean. Oh yeah, you should never cheat. Never do that. You don't know what to do with your social life? You want to cry right now? Aww. Sorry about that. And I never really had much of a social life until, like, after high school. And even then, I didn't really have much of a social life. Actually, I didn't really have much of a social life until after college, actually. Until, like, the last few years have I really had any amount of social life. Actually, pretty much the whole duration I've been doing the channel is about how long I've actually had a social life. Which is kind of funny. Because yeah, I believe I kind of started somewhat having one slightly before the channel ever started. But you shouldn't let it bum you down. There's always people out there. Am I happy? Oh yeah, I'm definitely decently happy. I do feel like I get like depressed sometimes, just like randomly for no reason whatsoever. Though I guess depression kind of is that way. But no, I am generally extremely happy. What do we even take here? We'll go for that. You like Loot Wizard's Team 4 Explorer? It's double Cedric, Egg Thief, and Key. Yes, you can run Key Team for doing this. I personally don't do it just because I feel like it's a little bit slow. However, it does give you a lot of maps and it does give you a lot of extra gold. Though I've never tested it to see if it gives more gold than this method. I believe it's actually less. But I've never specifically tested it. But yeah, I still use Key Team for some things, like obviously pet battles and stuff like that. I personally find it too slow for Explore though. But I believe you can two-shot with 2 Cedrics. I don't think you can ever get a one-shot though. Because you're going to have 230 something damage, and that's not going to be one-shot range. That is definitely a two-shot range though. But that's going to take a while. You have to cast Skeleton Key 4 times to kill. Whereas if you do something like Scorpius, you only have to cast twice. Which is kind of like a team like that, just without the Cedrics in a way. Because Scorpius double kills, then double kills. And Skeleton Key's whole purpose is it double kills and double kills. Except the stats are so high that you would have to cast it 4 times rather than 2. Yeah, relationships are always really complicated. Friendships normally aren't anywhere near as complicated, but they can be sometimes as well. Oh, we'll take that for now. Can you try the Key Team? Sure, I can go try the Key Team. I don't think I have one set up like that, though, but I can go set one up real quick. Last I recall, it takes like a minute per battle, which is why I didn't do it. I tested it for a very short duration of time. Not long enough to even do it for an entire hour, but for long enough to tell that it was not as quick as this. I can go do it real quick. Oh, I thought that was a thing for a second. Unfortunately, no. But yeah, let's go test it real quick. I'm just going to do it over top my other Key Team, I guess. Actually, you know what? I'll just do a new team for it. Actually, you know what? Better idea. Copy this. And go put it somewhere over here. Okay, and now we go and do a double Cedric. And let's do a correct hero class just for speed's sake. Okay, should be fine. Got everything set? Believe so. Okay, so let's go test this. Oh, banner's correct or incorrect. Actually, no, never mind. The banner's correct. Okay, let's go see what it can do. Okay, we'll grab, yeah, actually, kind of odd. I never really got into relationships until I was, pretty much 18. I never had a single relationship until I was 18. Like, I never dated or did anything prior to that. Oh yeah, I just found the other issue with this, too. We don't have max gold immediately, either. There we go. I feel so weird having Egg Thief in last slot. I don't think I've ever put Egg Thief in last slot. There we go. Yeah, how much extra gold do we get? That gives us about... Why is the extra gold so high? Hold up. Wait. I never noticed that. Does the gold multiplier? Wait, I've actually never noticed that. Because I never actually went to bother looking at that number when I tested it earlier. I was just looking at the speed of the team. Does the base gold you get actually multiply in this game mode? Because that seemed more than just 300 times our normal multipliers. Because 300 times our normal multipliers would have been like 5,500 or something. It almost seemed like the 7.3 also applied to that. I never realized that, if that's a thing. Is that a thing? That's a lot of gold then. But it's still, I think, slightly less. Because we have to... Let's go bring out the timer, I guess. I don't have this thing set up to actually be timed, but we'll still bring up the timer. I need to go get one on this computer. I have it set up on my other computer. One of the many things I still need to do with this computer I keep forgetting about. Okay, let me go and start a timer for our next battle. Because last I recall, the battles were taking around 50 seconds. And if that's the case, it's not worth doing this. Because we can 30 seconds 5,000 gold or so. And this is getting about 7,700 or so, or whatever it was in about 50 seconds. But let's see. Let's go time it real quick. Start. So I'm starting from right there. It's not on screen, but I can still see the timer if nothing else. Okay, let's get that going. Grab our red. Yeah, last time I tested it was around 50 seconds per battle. So it's going to be closer to a minute for this one. Though it does start speeding up a lot once we get past the second part of the battle. Once we actually have our damage. Yep, and it looks like it's going to be 50 seconds for the battle. It's at 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, and since we started the timer right when the battle started, it was 57 seconds. Well, that was a little bit of a slower battle. But yeah, it's still the same. I wouldn't advise using this. It's something you can use because it's 0 mythic. So if you want to go down this route, let's say this. This is probably better than doing Rowan. If your current team is Urskia Shield with Rowan, this actually probably is better. But you would need double Cedric for it, which is a bit more expensive. It's a bit more expensive than just going the other build, because the other build was supposed to be just the ultra cheap, cheapest, most viable build that you can build. But yeah, this is only worth it if you're currently using the other team, compared to using the 2 mythic team of Scorpius and Aureale. I feel like your overall gold, or not feel like, it is a quicker gold rate than this. It's less per battle, but it's more per hour, which obviously is the more important stat. You're also getting more trait stones and everything the other way, since you're winning battles quicker, which also means more medals. But this is still really good for gold, nonetheless. Oh, we got a problem. We just got silenced on our key, our most important thing. There we go, and now he's dead. Actually, let me take a skull. Why do I feel like there's not enough damage? Now it is, though. Global is thinking of me. Well, thank you, Global. Alright, anyways, let's switch back to the thing. But yeah, it's definitely not a bad team. But I wouldn't advise using it. That's why I don't end up ever really mentioning it. Did you test the iron? Even though it's kind of funny, given that I still use Key Team for things. But Explorer is personally something I would not advise using Key for. Ever since the most recent Explore patch, Key is no longer viable for Explore. Or at least I personally don't feel like it is. It's still usable, and you can still do it like you just mentioned, but I don't know, I personally wouldn't. Assuming you have the better options. Yeah. It's really close. It's just slightly slower. The gold rate of Key Team. But they're pretty much the same. Or very similar. The biggest benefit of this team is you end up cycling quicker, which means more tokens and more trait stones. So even though the gold rate might be nearly identical, the trait stone rate and metal rate is almost twice as slow. Which of course are some of the bigger things that we're going for. Well, not the trait stones, but the metals, of course. Just started playing again. Any tips? Spam Explore like crazy. It is great for gold, and you need these tokens that you get from them. But other than that, make sure to always do your daily adventure boards. That might be something that may have come new. And there's also things that you can't really get by other means on it, like deeds. Deeds are the new way that you upgrade kingdoms beyond level 10. And you're going to need to be taking them pretty much anytime you ever see them, as they are very valuable. But not much has happened. Well, I'm not sure when you say you just started playing again, how long you haven't been playing. But those are the most biggest things that happened in the last few months. But if you haven't been playing for longer than that, then there's a lot more to mention. Oh yeah, it's definitely way easier for people to obtain Key Team. Like, if you can afford Key Team, but you can't afford, if you can afford to upgrade from Rowan Team to Key Team, it's probably worth it. But if you have Scorpius, it's definitely not worth it. But of course, you need a Mythic of Scorpius for it ever to be more viable to use this method. About 10 months. So that's about all you missed then. What other big patch really happened this year? And the biggest two things were deeds and metals. Nothing else really happened. And deeds, you just get off a daily adventure board. And we covered a video on it a little while back on the places where you should go use them. Full video explaining that in depth. And metals, we also covered a video on where to use them and stuff pretty recently. I believe it's the two videos I have whenever you look at the end of any of my videos these days. Because those are the two most relevant guides I've done in the last couple months. Because those are the biggest two things that have happened in the last couple months as far as updates. But other than that, I don't think much has really happened this year that really changed up anything. The next patch is going to be doing so as well. We're kind of getting a little bit of a task overhaul. Some nice features that they should have added years ago, but are finally adding. Better late than never. And a few other things. I feel like the metal patch was the biggest patch, though, this year. The biggest patch last year, and definitely the best patch last year, hands down, was the Hero Class one. The one that we got last year's summer. At the end of summer in August. Oh, what do we take here? We'll grab that. Grab the other thing over. Take out the other one. And then we Scorpius it. Oh, we'll take the red right over there. Grab the other thing. And then we can just Scorpius. But I can go get you those two guide videos real quick if you really need them. Let me double check. I can get them in like 1 second. All I have to do is go to here. Because I believe I link them as a thing at the end of my videos these days. So if I go to any video that I recorded recently, like the one on the Mythic that we just did yesterday. If I click on you, and I click all the way to the end of the video to the end cards, and mute this ad that's playing. Skip that, go all the way to the end, and I'm pretty sure I have those two videos here. Let's see, explore teams for grinding difficulty. No, neither of these go over deeds. However, both of these go over the most recent thing that was added. And these are probably more relevant to go over anyways, so here are the two links to it. Here are the two ones. One goes over teams, the other goes over how to use them. And metals are definitely way more important than deeds, knowing how to use them, so... Or knowing how to accumulate them, I should say. Knowing how to use them is relevant for both of them. But knowing how to accumulate is mostly just relevant for metals, because metals are actually accumulated infinitely, whereas deeds are not. You just get them off an adventure board, and there you go. Now you know how to get them. But the other one's a bit more complicated than that. Let's see. I believe this is the other video. Oh, apparently it's been playing this entire time. Well, not playing this entire time, but since I opened it in a new tab seconds ago. I forgot to stop it. Nope, another ad thing. And here's the other video. But yeah, just click those links whenever. But those should be the 2 ones if I did that correctly. There you go. I didn't go mention the deed one there, but if you just search that real quick, you probably find it. I could also probably find it too real quick if you really need it. Let's see, I might as well. We're already finding videos. Easiest way to get to this one would go to my channel, go to the search bar of my channel, and then type in Gems of War Deeds, or even literally just Deeds probably brings it up since it's just searching my channel. Yep, and there it is, Deed Kingdom Leveling. And here's the other one going over Deeds. Copy that. There you guys go. There's the 3 guides. First 2 are on Explore, specifically going over basically what we're doing right now. How to use metals and explore the new format of Explore. And the other one goes over Deeds. Deeds are pretty straightforward how you get them. However, using them is, you would want to know just because Deeds can easily be wasted. Well, not like wasted, but there's definitely kingdoms that are more efficient to put it in than others. And that one mentions a full list. I should probably update that description because, not that the list has really changed much. Like, nothing has been removed from the list, but there's some things that might be added to the list. Or then again, not really, because the only one that would have been really added was, I guess, well, Stormheim was already on it. And that one's going to be relevant because of the new faction coming out. Yeah, I guess the list wouldn't actually really change much then. Like, Stormheim was the main one I was thinking of, but yeah, it was probably already on there because I mentioned Stormheim was already good for the giant bonus. And now it's going to be good for the faction bonus soon, too. It's definitely the best blue kingdom to put your deeds in, hands down. It's not even close now. That's why I stopped putting them into Merlantis. Because Stormheim just became so much more viable for deeds. If anyone else does any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll probably try for 2 more chests and then call it a stream for now. And hopefully we'll get that Nysha so we can hand out the other code. Otherwise, whenever we get that code, I promise you guys I will hand out a super secret ultra code. Assuming they still work. They should. I don't know why they wouldn't. Otherwise, we'll give out a normal code for it. An extra normal code whenever that does happen. But when we get that Nysha, we shall do it. And hopefully that is this weekend. Because I don't want this to be another 10-day plus grind of trying to get this thing. For one single Nysha. Oh, nice. You play on the Xbox version. Yeah, I haven't played the Switch version much for the last several months. But the main reason I don't play the Switch version is it's out of date. The Switch version is anywhere from 9 months to an entire year behind the every other version of the game. Update-wise. I hope they eventually get it fully up to date. Hopefully they make that a goal next year. Because it is really far behind. I hope by version 5.0... Switch is fully up to date with every other platform. Because 5.0 is happening summer of next year. Supposedly. It was supposed to happen early next year and then it got moved. But hopefully it'll be by summer next year. It's definitely going to be next year. There's no way they're not doing 5.0 next year. Well, time of next year depends on when they finally get around to it. Grab Scorpius. If you're level 25, you probably want to focus on kingdoms then and unlocking all of them. Do PvP, do some of that to get a little bit of gold. You could probably get some easy 1 trophy battles. Actually, even your 3 trophy battles might be easy depending on what you currently have as drops. And then just run Explore a bunch. I mean, I'm sorry, not run Explore. And run, oh, what's it called? You can end up running all the kingdoms. And then doing PvP for whenever you need gold to unlock those kingdoms. Because with how they revamped this current state of the game, it's actually pretty important to unlock all the kingdoms now. Before, it wasn't really that relevant. You would just go do a few of them. Oh, cool. He's got 4 gem keys from the gnome. That's one of his best drops. Actually, that is his best drop, technically. The event key one is worth more gem value. However, 4 gem keys I would personally say is more beneficial to me than 3 event keys, because I don't ever use my event keys. Yeah, so focus on unlocking every kingdom if you're at that point. You're probably to the point where they start costing around 4,000 gold each. And you need to unlock all the kingdoms and all the underworld. This will give you access to being able to do all their quest lines. But it also gives you access to a bunch of banners whenever you unlock a kingdom. And those banners you can use for various teams to give them different starting manas, which is pretty important for various builds. It can help your team go quicker and win more consistently by giving them the mana they actually need, and by minusing a mana that they don't need or don't use as much. Do you think they will ever create a status section so that you can have a quick look at what the closest kingdom to level up is? I hope they have something like that in game. There's some external tools that kind of do that. However, there's no way to do it within the game itself. You thought Salty said a while back about Switch always going to be behind due to Nintendo update policy. Did she mention that? She might have mentioned that during one of the streams when I might not have caught it. Or during one of the streams I only caught like half of it. That's very unfortunate. I know that they said about the policy that it would take them a while to get it all the way back, but I didn't realize it would be forever behind. That's quite unfortunate. Poor Switch version. Forever behind. Well, one way that you can also look within the game itself to see how close you are to upgrading a kingdom, if one of the main conditions on which you need for upgrading kingdoms is you upgrading troops to a certain level, like once you're starting to get to like 8+ star all kingdoms, one way that you can start checking them is simply go to your troop list and search by kingdom, and then you can tell how many troops you currently have. And if you take that number of troops, you'll be able to know about how many, or how close you are. So for example, actually, yeah, I guess you could mostly determine it that way. So if obviously a kingdom with 18 troops won't be as upgradable as a kingdom with 22 troops or something like that. It's a way that you can kind of check it within the game itself. It's not actually a method, but it might be better than going under the kingdom page for each one and checking it that way. Because that can show you how many troops you have, which also gives you a general range of how far you can go with the kingdom. Because a kingdom that has 5 more troops or something than another kingdom can obviously go way further in stars, and way easier getting further in stars than that of a kingdom that has less troops. And doing the search with Show All as well will also show you how many troops you are possibly missing from the kingdom. So do a Show All 1-by-1 kingdom search for every single kingdom. And by that, what I mean is go to, well, let's take our tribute first. But you go to the troop menu. Oh, nice, 15 gems. Go to troops, go to search, and do it based on Show All, and do it based on kingdom. And then just go 1-by-1. And while I have everything in the game, it will show you whatever you don't have. Actually, there is one thing I don't have. Where's Mechanome? Oh, it's a vault. Never mind, it's not actually a kingdom. But, oh, actually, theoretically is. It's a typing. Where's the vault? So if you end up clicking Show All, it'll show you things that you don't have as well. So this isn't actually a kingdom, but let's just assume that it was. We can see that we could still get one more troop, and that we currently have 7. We currently have 13 troops. So we can go and see, oh, here's a bunch of commons. We should probably go and upgrade those in order to go get the kingdom stars up then. And that's basically how you would go about this. Or if you can look at another one that has 20 of them, you should probably go like, oh, I should probably go see how close this one is to being upgraded. And probably go for the 21 because it's going to be way easier to get up than this one. Also, this isn't actually one, and it would actually be somewhat difficult because the current gnomes are hard to upgrade. But assuming an actual normal kingdom, that would be the way that you would go about it. Because obviously that's not a kingdom. And even if it was, the way that it functions is a bit different than other kingdoms. Even if it was an actual kingdom, that one. Alright, let's go through for one more chest real quick. Hopefully that won't be the one with the Nysha. Otherwise, we're giving up on today. Also, what are with these loading screens? What is with my connection today? Is Gems of War just being weird, or is it just my connection? My connection has been very weird all day. At least for trying to do the stream anyways. For doing normal stuff, I haven't had any issue with it. But today, for whatever reason, this seems to be weird. I wasn't really doing anything too intense. I was just looking up videos and watching a stream. Big roadblock to Kingdom power level is class forever stuck at level 7. Yes, many kingdoms are stuck at level 7 due to, or 8 star. Wait, was it 8 or 7? I forget. But they're stuck because of lack of hero class. However, there's only 4 kingdoms left that need a hero class, so in 4 months we will no longer need to worry about lack of hero class. Which means almost every kingdom in the entire game, with the 2 exceptions being Drakzoom and Sinner Mirage, which are the 2 most recent kingdoms added to the game about a year and a half ago. But other than those 2 kingdoms, every kingdom in the game will have all hero classes, or will be 10 starable as of 4 months from now. But all of them in 4 months from now will have a hero class associated to them. And Sinner Mirage and Drakzoom will be the only 2 below 10 stars, unless they're getting a lot of troops within the next few months. I believe Drakzoom actually only needs 1 more troop. I'm not sure if it's getting an event within that time, though. But Sinner Mirage, unless they make all of the Underworld troops count for... Or sorry, unless they make all of the Apocalypse troops count for Sinner Mirage, which is something that they were considering but didn't actually do yet. Unless they do that, Sinner Mirage will be a while before it reaches 10 stars. But if they do that, I believe it reaches it instantly, or almost instantly. Because there's 5 Apocalypse troops. The 4 Horsemen and Extinos. Hello, Sam, the Ham Pam. Welcome. You've gone 2 days without it? Well, we're at about 5 days without it. Hopefully soon we'll get it. It's only a matter of time. It's not that we haven't been grinding it. I haven't been grinding it like as much. But in that time, I'm pretty sure we're about 8 to 10 hours in grinding. Which is a little bit less than I would normally do it in that time. But that's mostly because we were messing around with the Mythic a lot. And the other days we were messing with Tower of Doom for the most part. Oh, no problem, Sam. Glad you can still make it. They are going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, so if anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. Well, of course, we'll be back tomorrow, as we are every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about an hour and 15 minutes prior to now tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll have some spoilers for next week of all the things that we'll be getting throughout the week. Also, speaking about spoilers for next week, next Monday, we'll have the spoiler stream by the developers. Meaning on Tuesday, if the patch isn't already out, we will be going and mentioning a bunch of stuff in 4.7, some of which you guys don't know yet. Because it's not public knowledge yet. But it will be as of Monday. How would one go about starting a guild? It is really, really difficult. You would go make a guild. Ideally have some people that already want to join your guild prior to even making the guild. Otherwise, it's going to be even harder. And then once you end up making your own guild, which I think costs 50,000 gold. I think you need to be level 50 and it costs 50,000 gold. I forget. They might have raised the requirement. I know they increased the gold requirement because it used to be so ridiculously cheap to do that too many people were making guilds, particularly in early game. But you need to reach that requirement. If you go to the page of creating a guild, it would tell you what that requirement is. I believe it's 50. It's either 10,000 or 50,000 gold, and I believe it's level 50 or 100 requirement. I forget if they raised it even further. I know it used to be 50. At one point, it used to have none. But anyways, other than like 1,000 gold requirement, which was super easy. But the biggest thing you need to do is recruit a lot. Like, it can be really, really hard to fill a guild. especially if you want to get more of a competitive guild that's actually doing like a lot of donations and stuff. That can be even harder. The easiest way to probably do it is to start your guild, leave it completely open so anyone can join it, and then just try to make it active. And then once you finally have like half the guild being active, kick like everyone who's not active, and then make it so you can only invite people and don't have random people joining, and then try filling up the rest with people that you invite specifically. But it can be a really, really long process. It can take over months to do. Yeah, you're over level 1,200. It can still be very difficult to do so, though, even if you wanted to, because you need... It's really hard to get 30 people into a guild, especially if you're looking to try to make a bigger guild. Well, it's a long, tedious process. That can take months if you're doing it all the way from scratch. Let's see. But yeah, unless you already have some amount of people that are going to be joining you when you create it, that you already know 100% will be joining you, I honestly would not advise doing it. Just because it will be a really difficult process. And you might decide you might not even want to do it after starting it for about a month or two. It could take even longer than that to get it rolling. Oh, half your current guild wants to make one? Well, if half your guild's going to go and make their own guild, that probably would work. Half of my guild ends up doing that, actually. And I think they're doing fine. I forget what their guild name is, actually. But, half of my guild end up making their own guild. But if you have half a guild making a guild, that would definitely work. Would still take about a month to get it rolling, though. Even if you have half a guild joining. Oh, that's not the direction I wanted. I wanted to move that to the right so we would have got an extra turn and the cascade of the blue. So it doesn't matter, we already won. Didn't I say that would be the last chest, like 2 chests ago? Oh, well, we'll finish this last set and then call it a night. Any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, I am going to call it a night. And we'll be back, as I mentioned, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an hour and a half prior to now tomorrow. And, yeah, we'll have some info on next week's events. Then Monday night, we'll be doing our normal raids? Invasions? I forget which one it is. One or the other. And then on, hopefully later in the week, we'll have the patch. And on Tuesday, I'll be able to, regardless of if we have the patch or not, on Tuesday, I'll be able to mention more info on the patch. That's coming out sometime very soon. Yeah, next patch is anywhere from next Monday, like literally this week in 2 days, to like next week's Tuesday. Sometime within that 8-day time frame is the next patch. We just don't know when, and it has not been confirmed yet. However, it might be confirmed as of next Monday when it is, if it isn't already out by then. And by next Monday, I mean 2 days from now, Monday. But we'll know soon. Very, very soon. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. Yeah, I'll catch all of you later. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. And we'll be back very, very soon with more Gems of War content. And obviously, when 4.7 launches, we'll have a lot of things to go over with that. Mostly the new task system, but also a few other small things here and there to mention. And even though I didn't really cover a video going over the previous one, since 4.65 was such a minusculely small patch, we will be doing quite in-depth on 4.7, as there's a lot of things to mention in the next patch. Mostly the new task system, but there's other stuff too that are also occurring as of next patch. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys later. Have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful weekend. Best of luck if you're still going to be trying for the Mythic. It is still in Glory Gem Guild and VIP chest for about another 5 days. So if you're still looking for it, next Monday you might want to use your keys for it, or sometime very soon within those 5 days. So do be mindful of that if you're still hunting it. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you later, and thanks for stopping by. Goodbye, everyone!